Okay, well, I think we're gonna try and get going here. Hi everyone. It has been a long time since I have actually live streamed, so please pardon me if I'm a little bit rusty on everything. I haven't done this in ages, and I'm really excited for it. And yes, Mooney, I did used to live stream every weekend. I actually streamed twice a week for a while there, but that got to be way too chaotic. And I haven't done it for probably around a year now, or maybe not quite a year actually. It's been probably about 6 months since I've last live streamed. The audio should be here now. Hopefully you all can hear me. I keep it turned off in the beginning just as I'm getting some last things set up, so do not worry. But wow, okay, we already have 30 people, and hopefully y'all can hear me okay, and it's not going to be too loud or anything. Let me know if the audio is having any problems, and also keep in mind I won't be able to interact through the chat, but I will interact vocally if I can. So can everybody hear me so far? You all can hear me, right? And hopefully nothing's too loud, and hopefully the music won't be too loud. If it is, let me know and I'll try to deal with it, because this can be the audio for this can be very loud, so I think I have it adjusted properly, but yeah, we'll find out. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the game. So the game we're playing, as many of you guys have been asking about, is Wolf. It's actually a very, very old game. It's 1994, I believe. This game is older than me. And it's an old pixel game, and we played it off stream on the channel before, but we've never played it on stream, and so that'll be something that I think will be pretty fun to start doing. It's also a very long game, so we should have a lot of material to stream with, and so hopefully you guys all enjoy it. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump in, and I do have chat on slow-mo, just FYI, because there's already 35 of you guys here, and we just started streaming 4 minutes ago. So there might be a lot of people, and so I do have it on slow-mo, just so that it's kind of at a place where I can keep up. So let's go ahead, and we will go ahead and start playing here, and I actually have a simulation already set up, and hopefully you guys can hear the music starting here. And let me just get my volume adjusted so that I can actually hear what's going on. And because the music does give you clues in this, and unfortunately I have not been able to get the game sounds working, just the music. So unfortunately we don't have that part of the experience. But let's go ahead, and we're going to actually jump into the plains, and I have a save file here for Rumour that I have started, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and we're going to load in. So there's a little bit of a loading screen. It does, pardon me, I can't talk. There's a bit of a loading screen. Really? This is going to be how the stream is, huh? There is a bit of a loading screen, and we'll just let it run its course. It is a very exciting game, and hopefully you guys will all enjoy it. It is a very old game, but it still holds very true, and it really stands up to the test of time. It does, of course. It's old. It's not as advanced as a lot of games today, but for what it is, it's absolutely incredible. So just give it a few more minutes. It should be done here momentarily. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the pack. Hopefully we don't have anything chaotic right away. So this is Rumour. She is the wolf we will be playing as. And right now she has 2 packmates. Oh, where are they going? Muzzlad is heading up this way. And we have Silence over here. And then, of course, Rumour herself is, let's check her profile. She is 3 years and 8 months, so still a pretty young wolf, but she's kind of in an established pack. And, now, keep in mind this game does use the old ranking system, so it does have Alpha, Beta, Omega, etc., and that is no longer considered to be accurate because it was based off of captive wolf packs, so you will see that in the game. That is how the game is set up, but that's not really, for the most part, how things work in real life. It tends to be more parents and then the offspring. That's just a hay bale. I thought it was a plane for a second. Do pardon me, I get very jumpy in this game. So, but yeah, so you will see that from time to time, and just keep in mind that's not really how they believe things work nowadays. Okay, so I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well as play the game. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult. I will try to get to all your comments, but I may get a little bit behind. Let's see, what is this game about? It is basically, it's kind of like the older 2D predecessor in some ways to Wolf Quest. I don't actually, the games aren't connected, they're not by the same people, but I think, uh-oh, there's a human down there. It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar in some ways, except this is based off some of the older science. So, yes, the enemies in this, for the most part, are planes and humans. If you get caught by a human, there's very little chance of survival, but there are also plenty of other things that can kill you, and so one of the main things we have to keep an eye on is our hunger and thirst. So you can see I have this paw print over our hunger and thirst down here. This is our stamina, or it's called endurance here, and that's our health. So if any of these three goes all the way down, then that's when we have a big problem. If this goes all the way down, it just means we can't run. And there are other things that can kill you, like traps, and then of course the humans and the planes, which by extension humans. So yeah, actually the den's down that way. There should be, usually there's something right by the den here, so we should be able to get some water down here. I'm gonna try and keep our water up. Rumour is female, so you can see, you can check on the profile right here and you can see it does say she is female. So let's see. We're gonna head down here, and I haven't ever actually streamed Wolf before, so we're kind of gonna be playing it by ear and seeing how things go. And hopefully it works out. I'm hoping this will be a good game to stream, because it's one of those games where it can be kind of hard to play for long periods of time just pre-recorded, because it gets kind of repetitive, but at the same time, that works well for streams, because that means that I don't have to be constantly explaining what I'm doing in the game, and I can have a little bit more time to actually interact and talk to you guys. So that tends to work out there, and then it is also a very, very long game. Each day tends to take about 10 minutes to get through, I think, and 10 minutes real time, and it's basically scaled to real life. I believe each month is about 28 days long. So you can see how this game can take a really long time, and we're also, I think we're at 6 months right now? 8 months. 8 months, right? Yeah, so actually we're pretty close then to the time of the year when the wolves will actually breed. So that will probably happen pretty soon. We just have to make sure that we stay in the alpha position, and you can see that we are in fact in the alpha position right now. Now, one really cool thing about this game is you can see all the kill counters on the side there. So it has rabbit, it has bison, beaver, moose, caribou, deer. And that actually determines how strong your wolf is, how much experience they've had with that, and I think also how many fights they've gotten into and won. And so you can see right now, Silence has notably less, even though she's older. She has not made nearly as many kills, so I don't think she'll be a huge threat to her position. Sometimes if you have a wolf that catches up to you, they will start challenging your position, and they can actually kick you out of your beta position. Again, that's the old ranking system, but that's how things work in the game. So let's make our way down here, and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and eat here, and I think, let's see. Does it need a download? Yes, it does need a download, and I actually have information about that in the video description. It's kind of a complicated thing. How long will this be? Like Song said, it's going to be an hour or two. And this game is not on Steam. It is so old that it actually, it only ever really released on disc. And so now there are downloads of it available online. And I do have a link to the site where I got it, which is generally a pretty safe site, and some notes regarding that. When did the ranking change? That's a good question. I don't know exactly when it's changed, but it's been in more recent years that they realized the old system with the whole alpha, beta, omega is based off a study of captive wolf packs. The fundamental difference between captive wolf packs and wild wolf packs is that in captivity, oftentimes you'll have a bunch of unrelated wolves that have been thrown together. So a lot of the time, if you have wolves in a sanctuary, they may have been rescued from someplace. Maybe somebody had them as a pet and they got confiscated, because that's really not a good idea. And so these wolves have been brought here, and none of them are related. And so it's a little bit different than in the wild. Normally you'll have a mother, a father, and potentially their pups. Sometimes the pack dynamics are a little more complicated than that, but a lot of the time that is the case. And so the dynamics between a bunch of unrelated wolves are going to be pretty different than the dynamics between a pack that is literally a family. And that's why that difference exists. So it's been in more recent years that they've started studying wild wolves more than just the captive ones. And so they've learned that over the time here. And they've learned that in more recent years. So that's kind of how that came to be, and a little bit of background on that. Now, there are sometimes larger packs that will consist of multiple breeding pairs, and there has actually been some debate over, in that case, do you still use the term alpha, etc.? And when you have multiple... Wait, what? When you have multiple breeding pairs, things do get a little bit more complicated. I'm running away. I'm running away. That's a human. We don't want anything to do with that guy. That probably means a hunter. And we're gonna get the heck out of here. So we're gonna probably run... He's right by our water source. I don't really like that. I'm actually gonna kind of come up this way and see if we can get to the water source here. But so in the situation where you do have multiple breeding pairs, then you may see more of an alpha structure, because you'll probably tend to have one breeding pair that's more dominant than the others, and sometimes you will have a wolf that kind of gets picked on that does resemble more of an omega, but that's usually only the case in larger packs. And a lot of packs, depending on the region, will consist just of a breeding pair and their offspring. So it's a little bit more complicated than people used to realize. There is an update on WolfQuest. There will be an update. There will be an update coming out at some point in the future here. I don't think we have an estimated release just yet. Did I use all my stamina? I used most of it. But I don't think we have an estimated release date for the new update just yet. But there will be an update coming out in the future that is going to be a huge update. It's going to be the anniversary update, and it's going to change a lot of the way the game works. They're reworking hunting, they're reworking a lot of systems, they're reworking the prey spawns, they're adding new prey, they're reworking the way the animals move around and travel and the way they work, they're expanding the maps. There's a huge update coming to WolfQuest at some point in the future. I believe it is set to release this year currently. So I am super excited for it, and that's actually the reason we're not running WolfQuest right now, is we're in between seasons, and I'm holding off to see if the new WolfQuest game is going to release at any point in the near future. And if it does release in the near future, then we will probably end up playing that as soon as it comes out. So that is the reason we're not running a WolfQuest series already right now. We're going to remain on a little bit of a longer season break than we probably normally will, because I would like to jump right into that new update, and depending on how close it is to release, I don't want it to interrupt our season, because it's going to change so much that it would be really bad if it actually updated mid-season. So I'm very, very, very excited for the new WolfQuest update, though, and definitely very much so looking forward to it. Okay, so let me get to this water, and then I'll try and catch up with the chat again. I'm once again a little bit behind, and we have like 34 people watching right now. This is, I think, an all-time record. The last time I streamed, we had a lot less people on this channel. Are you gonna let me drink? There we go. But yeah, the last time I streamed, we had a lot less people on this channel, so this is a little bit to get used to here. So, okay, let's see. I heard we're going to be able to transport food in other places in WolfQuest 3. I believe that was the most recent update, yes. Or the most recent update vlog, that is. It's not in the game, the current version of the game. Alright. And I'm trying to... Okay, let's see. So we have another wolf down here. I imagine this is probably one of our pack. So we'll maybe try and catch up with them. I want cool channel art like yours, but I don't know how to do it. You know what? Just practice, practice, practice. Oh no, this is a loner. This is Aurora. And she is 1 year and 8 months old. Okay. Hello, Aurora. I don't think we're on our territory, so we can't actually chase her off or anything. But yeah, basically, just make sure you continue to practice. I've been drawing since I was really little, so I've had a lot of practice, and that's where I got to the point where I am with my art. And so really, it's just a matter of sticking with it. Once you first start out, you're not going to be great, and you're probably not ever going to be where you want to be. That's the thing I found about art is, no matter how much I improve, I still find myself dissatisfied with it because I think, oh, but it could be so much better. But the thing is, nobody else is going to see the picture you have in your head. So you just got to stick with it and continue to learn and improve as much as you can. And even if you don't like your own art all that much, chances are other people are going to think it's amazing. And that's just what I've learned, at least. Let's see. It is a very hard game. Again, this is another thing that takes practice. I've been playing this game for quite some time. I actually used to play this game when I was younger. We figured out how to get it on my computer, and so I've been playing this for quite some time. And it's one of those games that you just do need to practice to get good at. They do have some missions. Those are kind of nice for getting a start at. And for getting used to the game and its controls. They're pretty hard, but they'll help you learn. And so yeah, I've had some experience with this game, but it's really just one of those things that you catch on over time. Is this just the time change? It is just the time change. Okay. All right, let's see. Reading through the comments here. Yes, the game is Wolf, and Wolf Quest is very, very fun. Wolf Quest is probably honestly, out of all the Wolf games that are out there, Wolf Quest and Wolf are my favorites because they are just, both of them are so detailed. Of course, they're fairly different. The concept is the same, but the way that it actually plays out practically in gameplay is very different, given that Wolf Quest is 3D, Wolf is 2D, and of course, Wolf was bound by the limitations of the time, but I'm just going to try and get a little closer to the den before I settle down to rest for the night, by the way. But yeah, so Wolf Quest is a really amazing game, too. I've been with that one since the beginning, and it's been so amazing to see how much it's grown over the years. It's been really incredible, and it's now been around for 10 years. And that is very, very hard to believe. I started playing it when I was 9, and I'm still wowed by how far it has come. All right, let's see. Oh, that's cool that you're getting to go to Yellowstone this summer. I went to Yellowstone once several years back. It's been, oh gosh, I think I was a freshman in high school, so 4 going on 5 years ago, I think. Don't trust me to keep track of time. I will forget what age I am. But yeah, I went to Yellowstone several years back, and it is an absolutely beautiful place, and you do have the chance of seeing wolves there. We actually did get to see one very far away when we went to Yellowstone, but there's also so many other cool animals. We saw coyotes, we saw bears, we saw different kinds of bears, we saw deer, we saw elk, we saw antelope, we saw, of course, bison. We saw, what else did we see? We saw a lot of different ones. I think we saw eagles. There's all kinds of amazing wildlife in Yellowstone, and it's, of course, not just the wildlife, but the scenery is beautiful, and then there's a lot of geothermal features there as well that are really neat to see. Let's see here. Is this game free or does it cost money? Okay, so that's a little bit of a complicated thing. Basically, when it first released, way back, like 20-some years ago now, Wolf was a paid game. Dude, somebody brought down an animal right here, right outside the den. That is awesome. I don't know who did that, but thank you. But yeah, so when this first came out, it was a paid game, but the studio has since disbanded, and because it's so old, it originally released only on the only on discs, and it's so old that it won't run by itself on today's systems, on today's computers. You actually have to run what's known as an emulator that'll make the game think it's running on a really old computer. And who's going by here? Is this, this is Silence, okay. So you actually can't run it like you would a normal program. There's a lot of special things you have to do just to get this game to actually play on your computer. So when it first came out, it originally wasn't free, but there's really no way of actually buying the game now, and so it is available for download online. I normally don't advocate getting games like that because the trouble with that is a lot of the time you'll have games that are paid and are still available nowadays, and that then will take money away from the producers. But the thing about Wolf is, it's so old, the producers have disbanded, they're not making money from it anymore anyway, there's really no other way of obtaining the game. So in this case, it is I would say it is a download. The actual legality of that is a little bit iffy because it was, the games were so new when this was first created that the copyright issues weren't really in place, and so it's kind of a gray area. But for all intents and purposes, I don't think you're going to get in trouble for this game, for downloading this game, and I don't think there's really any issues with downloading this game. You're not going to be taking money away from people who should be earning the money. They're not earning the money from this game anymore. So it's a little bit of a questionable thing that I put in the description. That's a choice you just want to go into and make sure you're informed about. But yes, it is a download, and I do have the download link in the description. Let's see. So wolf is the largest wolf at the bottom, right? Yeah, that picture is generally it generally indicates the wolf that you're playing as. Let's see. Who is my favorite YouTuber? I don't really watch a lot of YouTubers, but I've watched a lot of Ethos Labs stuff right now. I will watch Dan TDM stuff, and I've watched some of Siri's stuff as well. And, what would I do if I came across a wolf in the wild? Well, the best thing to do with that is, if you just happen to see one, get your camera, start taking some pictures, but make sure you do so at a safe distance. If a wolf were to be stalking you and look like it was thinking you might be prey, because if you are going to have a dangerous predator encounter, a lot of the time it's because somehow the animal sees you as prey. You'll want to make yourself look big. You want to make yourself look like you're not scared of it. You don't want to run away, because if you run, that can trigger a prey response. There's generally not that many instances of a healthy wolf or pack of wolves actually attacking people. Most of them have been if they're sick or if you corner them. So you definitely don't want to approach them. If a wolf approaches you, you just don't want to aggravate it. You want to try to probably move away slowly, and don't show fear. Make a lot of noise, try and scare it off if it looks like it's coming at you. But if it's just at a safe distance and it's a ways away, don't approach it. Just take out your camera, get some pictures, and treasure the moment. Because most of the time, wolves are more scared of you than you are of them. And if it's just on its own in the wild, it's probably not going to attack you. You'll want to watch how it's behaving. There's really not a set formula for any specific incident. It really is going to depend on you. You'll want to watch how it's acting. If it looks like it's just minding its own business, then you're probably fine. If it looks like it might actually be coming at you, then you probably want to try and make yourself look big and scary, and try and make yourself look like something that it would not want to risk taking on for a meal. Let's see. And that is generally the case. Most predators will leave you alone unless you're running, or for some reason, a lot of the time when an animal will come after humans, it's going to be either they have like a dog with them, or they have small kids that might look like some sort of small prey animal to the predator running around. A lot of the time they don't just come at you unless they are very, very desperate. So generally you just kind of want to keep your distance and watch from a safe ways off. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and I think we'll sleep through the night here by the den. And I'm gonna try and keep an eye on things here. Can I play Girls Go Game? I don't know what that is, sorry. Are wolves scared of humans? For the most part, yes. Especially in areas where there are a lot of humans, they tend to avoid them. Sometimes up in the Arctic, like you'll see a lot of nature documentaries where you'll have wolves that have never actually seen a human before, and so they don't have that instinctive fear if they're like way up north where there's not a lot of people actually living there. And so sometimes you'll see like a photographer will go up there and the wolves will come right up to him because they're not used to humans. But for the most part, they are scared of people, and for the most part, they'll leave you alone. Let's see. Have I ever played Animal Jam? I used to play Animal Jam, but it doesn't work on this computer, and I don't have a good way of recording it. Alright, let's see. Do I like Warriors? I only ever read the first book because I started reading right before I went into high school, and then school ate my life. So I read the first book several years ago, but I don't really remember much of it, and I haven't kept up with it from there because there's so many books. Let's see. What wild animal wouldn't be scared of a big two-legged creature? Most of them are more scared of us than you would think. The main trouble you have with animals attacking people is when they do get acclimated to people. So, like, the main one we have issues with here would probably be bears and coyotes. So, occasionally you'll hear about people having to, like a bear that's gotten acclimated to humans, and occasionally you'll hear about, oh, animal control had to come get the bear and relocate it because it was rummaging through the trash and it was threatening, bothering people. So occasionally that's what you'll hear about out here, but that can happen with a lot of animals, and that's why it is so very important not to feed wild animals. Like you don't want to if it's gonna be, oh, this guy's injured, he's going down. If it's not, like, you don't want to feed especially larger animals. Like birds aren't probably gonna be. It's fine to feed birds or whatever, but if you have a large animal like a wolf or a cougar or a bear, you don't want to be encouraging it to stick around in human areas, because that's when a lot of trouble starts, is when you have a large predator that gets acclimated to people. The other issue we tend to have sometimes out here is you'll hear with decent frequency about, like, a coyote that has gotten used to people and that comes into somebody's yard and steals their pet or whatever. Again, that's because coyotes have gotten really used to having people around, and so they're just not scared of us the way they probably should be, and there's ways to remedy that, but that's really why you don't want to acclimate an animal, because unfortunately in some cases then they do get too used to us and they do just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, and in that case there's really not much choice but to put the animal down so that it doesn't pose a threat to itself or to others. But they do try to avoid that, from what I understand. In fact, in a lot of cases, like, they'll use, I know up in Oregon, when they're working with bears, I think it's Oregon, they'll actually take the bear out, and then when they release it, they'll have a bunch of people standing around and yelling. They'll fire rubber bullets at it, which is basically, it won't actually hurt the bear, but it'll scare them, because they're going to be like, oh my goodness, what the heck is this? And they'll have dogs barking. They'll let the dogs chase the bear, and that's going to make the bear go, oh my goodness, this is not worth it, I'm going to stay away from here, and it'll keep them scared and keep them safe. So it really just depends. All right, let me go ahead and catch up again. Yeah, sleeping in this game is pretty disconcerting sometimes, because sometimes humans will creep up on you. I think the media demonizes wolves as dangerous and out to get you. That has definitely been the case, especially in previous years, and I think it's less of a case now. If anything, it kind of is divided into opposite extremes, where some people now will over glorify wolves and make them out as, oh, they're some perfect, they're animals. They don't see the world the same way we do. They're predators, and they can do a lot of damage. They can be very dangerous to ranchers. It really just depends on the perspective. You have to find a nice balance, which is really hard to do, because you don't want to stick with the whole big bad wolf, but at the same time you don't want to over anthropomorphize them, and you don't want to make them seem like some perfect over glorified creature, because that can be a big problem as well. Either one can be just as dangerous, really. So it's about finding a balance. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I know like one song from Hamilton. I haven't actually seen Hamilton. Hi Fluffy. Is it on the App Store? Are you talking about Wolf or Wolf Quest? Wolf is not on the App Store. Wolf Quest is, as far as I know. Let's see. I have not actually watched Steven Universe. That's one of the few cartoons that I haven't really seen. Actually, it was pretty interesting, because there's kind of a big debate, because how you view animals generally tends to be based off how you interact with them. Oh, that looks dangerous. So the thing up on top in the yellow is either a cache or it's a trap. And so we want to be kind of cautious of that, because if it's a trap, it could hurt us. And I don't want to go towards it. So we're kind of going to stay out of the way here. But yeah, so for example, those of us who are just looking at wolves kind of from a distance, they don't actually really interact with our lives. We're kind of just look at them and we can go, oh, they're such beautiful animals. But to someone who maybe they are a sheep farmer and they live in wolf country and the wolves will come and take away their sheep, then they're probably going to see wolves as more of a threat, more of a danger, more of a nuisance, because then this wolf is directly impacting their livelihood. So it's kind of, that's why I say there has to be balance, because it really is going to depend. And so we have to look at what's best for the animals and best for the people and try to find a good balance in between those that's going to work as best it can for everyone. And so there can be a lot of relocation involved. Sometimes you'll have like, okay, maybe the farmer can start having a dog around, and if a wolf shows up, the dog will chase it and scare it away. Sometimes, unfortunately, it does lead to the wolves being killed, but there are a lot of alternatives that I think try to be put into play a lot of the time, but it can be a big problem depending. And that's even reflected in this game here, because you can kill cows in this, but if you kill cows, you have a much higher chance of having humans show up to attack you, and you can actually raise the bounty on wolves because you're attacking livestock. Alright, am I gonna do the one wolf game? I don't know which game you're talking about. If you're talking about Ultimate Wolf Simulator, then no, that series is not continuing because I started having major issues with the game. It's an older game and it just wasn't working on my emulator. It was getting really laggy. It had a lot of bugs. It was just not working. So, alright, let's see. Yeah, I don't like... See, I've actually changed my views on hunting over recent times here. So, generally, I don't condone sport killing, but in some cases, it can be necessary. I would say not for wolves in most cases. I think wolves generally are... I don't think, as far as I know, there's not too much reason to hunt them unless they're directly causing a problem. But for some animals, so like with deer, you might have an overpopulation of deer, and then in that case, if you don't take care of that somehow and there's not enough predators to handle it, then the deer are going to start getting weaker, they're going to get sick, they're going to start starving because they run out of food. And it's going to be a big problem, and it's going to be worse for them in the long run. So in that case, sometimes hunting can be a good thing. With that said, it does need to be carefully regulated so that you don't have people over-hunting and causing damage to the population that way. As far as I know, hunting here in USA is pretty well regulated, and so it can be a pretty beneficial thing, but some species definitely don't need to be hunted. And as far as I understand, there's not a real reason to be hunting any number of wolves because they were almost eradicated in parts of the US a long time ago when people did really demonize them. In this game I hate the humans, but not in real life. Will I ever play, where can you get wolf? I have that in the description. Will you ever play Abzu? I don't know. I don't really know too much about Abzu. And, again, it kind of just depends on my budget, how many people are asking for it, etc. If a lot of people ask for a game, a lot of the time I will check it out, if it's related enough. And, again, it depends on how much it costs. I'm a lot less likely to buy a $40 game than I am a $10 game, let's put it that way. Do I know Stacy Plays? I know of her, I've seen a few of her videos, but I don't avidly watch her content, and I don't know her personally. She seems nice, though. I heard people get guardian dogs to deter predators. Yes, that can be a method of deterring predators, and it can be a very effective one in many cases. Let's see. I'm trying to... Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat and play the game at the same time. That's a little bit difficult. You're my favorite YouTuber and keep doing what you do. Aw, thank you. I'm just glad that I can make a difference in this world and that so many of you guys enjoy watching my videos, because I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you. You guys, that I can be an encouragement and provide something fun and entertaining and hopefully somewhat educational for you guys is really... it makes my day when you guys tell me that I've encouraged you. Okay, we're gonna try and catch this rabbit and see if we can get it. Okay, it's gonna run, because that'll give us a nice little boost on food. Okay. I'm planning on making some sort of sanctuary, but like after helping wild animals, I would set them free, but when it comes to strays, I would adopt them. There actually are a lot of sanctuaries out there, and as to whether you could release them a lot, that will really depend on the animal. I've actually been watching a show called Wildlife SOS, which is about a British vet who helps wildlife, and he does have a lot of rescue and release animals, but he also, sometimes animals aren't releasable for whatever reason, i.e. if you have an animal that gets really used to humans, sometimes it can't be released. If you have an animal that's just too injured, like it has a permanent injury, then it maybe can't be released. So there's different purposes for different types of sanctuaries, and I think all of them are important. But yeah, there definitely are sanctuaries, and unfortunately, one of the biggest reasons that there's a need for sanctuaries is because people try to keep exotic animals as pets. And, there's very few cases, in fact, I would venture as far as to say there's no case in which it's good to keep an exotic animal as a pet. Now, when it comes to wildlife ambassadors, there can be a very important place for them. An ambassador is an animal that's kept in captivity for the sake of education. So, i.e., zoos often will work with wildlife ambassadors, and a lot of the time those ambassadors exist to teach people that, hey, this is not a good idea to keep this animal as a pet, and this is why. With that said, exotic pets, it kind of depends. So, like, for a long time, foxes have been considered exotic pets. Well, they're now starting to basically domesticate foxes, and if that got to the point where foxes reach the level of domestication that we see, say, with dogs, then maybe they wouldn't be considered an exotic pet. Right now, though, foxes can be a big problem because a lot of people be like, oh, that's cute, I want a pet fox, and they have no idea what goes into it, and foxes can actually be very difficult to keep because they still have a lot of behavior problems that haven't really been bred out of them, or they can be very difficult to train because they haven't been domesticated for as long as dogs. They're at the very beginning of potentially being domesticated, whereas dogs have been domesticated for years and years and years. Alright, let's see. Can I explain what the 3 circles are? I don't actually know what you mean by the 3 circles. Let's see. I should play some ocean games like Subnautica. I've heard there are some good ocean games, and I may have to look into them, but I don't really know very many of them right now. Okay, I don't really think animals should be demonized or glorified. Yes, I love animals, but they are animals. Exactly. Too often, people tend to personify them and put human feelings and thoughts into them. And really, I mean, when it comes down to it, they are still animals. They don't quite think the same way oh my gosh, I thought that was a human. It's just a caribou. Mr. Caribou, you scared me so badly. Okay, we're not going to try and hunt you. You're really strong. But yeah, when it comes down to it, they are still animals. Yeah, they can be very beautiful, and it can be really amazing to watch them, and I definitely really enjoy wildlife watching, but at the same time, you do want to still remember they are animals, and you don't want to overhumanize them. Alright, let's see. Is that like... Oh no, it's raining. Oh, I can't even see the rain because it's, it blends right in with the grass there. Okay, do I like the Song of Anna? I have no idea what that is, sorry. Do I know of Warrior Amino? I've heard of it in a distant legend, but I'm not a part of it. The rabbit is so small I couldn't see it. Rabbits are ridiculously difficult to see in this because they are very small. Alright. I bought Undertale. Yeah, there was just a winter sale on Steam. Unfortunately, that's over now, but there's supposedly there's usually a good sale in the summer and a good sale in the winter, so if you stick around for a few more months, you might hit the summer sale. Let's see. In my opinion, I think it's sad to hunt wolves, but also sad if they are to eat cattle. Hard to decide, huh? I think with that, you should do everything you can to avoid having to kill the wolf, but in some cases, when there's really no other option, then I can see that it could be necessary. The thing with that is, you don't want wolves to teach other wolves to hunt cattle too. You don't want them to raise their pups to go, hey, there's this nice tasty food source right here, and we're gonna teach you to hunt it too. So in some cases, if you have a wolf that is persistently killing cattle, it's really not, like, you've tried everything, or for whatever reason the situation is deemed so that there's really not another good option. In some cases, it may be a sad necessity to have to kill the wolf. Generally, though, I think it's important to try everything you can short of that before making that call. If we have any luxury of decision, I think it's important to do what you can before going to that extreme. Alright, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and eat. Uh-oh, I hope you guys haven't been killing cows. I hope these are just... Somebody's been killing cows. Please don't do that. But let's see. Let's see. Where is Ark? Sometimes series get phased in or out depending on how much interest people show in them. Ark has been one of the ones that hasn't quite done so well, unfortunately, so I've kind of taken a break from that series. Let's see. Can you do Sims 4 cats and dogs with a human? I don't necessarily know what to say about my Sims 4 plans right now. I've toyed around with a few ideas. Keep your eyes out, you never know what you might see in the future. Foxes can be good pets if you know what you're doing and did research, but otherwise you shouldn't get them as pets. Right. There is starting to be a strain of domesticated fox, but like I said, they haven't been domesticated for very long yet, so they can have a lot of behavioral issues. There's a lot of trouble that can come of having a pet fox, and unfortunately, a lot of people just go, oh, it's a domestic fox, let me get this as a pet, and then they have no idea what they've gotten into, and that's when you end up having trouble, because people even do that with dogs, and that's why we have so many stray dogs. But when it's an animal like a fox, it's unless you really know what you're doing and you've done the research and you know exactly what you're getting into, it's just not a good idea. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that it can be a bad idea. Okay. When do the pups come? And here, give me a moment. I'm actually going to save my game. Just in case bad things happen, so we have a save point to go back to. But let's see. When do the pups come? So the pups will come when, let's take a look at Rumour here. So you can see she is currently at 3 years and 8 months. So when she turns 4 years, assuming she was able to mate with the other alpha, then she will have her pups. And with that in mind, then, so it's going to be a while yet. But come 3 years and 9 months is when we'll actually find out if they're able to mate. The alpha should come to us, and we will see an indicator, and then at that point we will know if she's going to be expecting pups or not. Let's see. Steam has sales literally every time they get an excuse to. Yeah, pretty much. They do have a lot of sales, and that's always nice for me. What's my favorite music? My favorite music really depends on the day. I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks and stuff. It really depends, though. I also listen to a lot of pop and some rock and stuff. It depends on my mood. I listen to a lot of Skillet music. I wish you can meet me in person. Well, I don't know if that'll ever happen. At this point in time, I'm not really a big enough YouTuber to consider going to conventions or whatever, but who knows? Who knows what the future may hold. Let's see. Are you going to play Sims and make it have puppies? Well, we will be continuing our Sims for character creation each week on Saturdays. We will be continuing that for the time being. This is a massive caribou herd. I just want to see this wolf. I want to see what wolf this is. But yeah, we'll be continuing that for the time being, and we'll see. We'll see. Oops, we spooked that one. What is this wolf up here? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, I think that's most of the questions for now. So I will continue on here. And what is going on? Is that... I can't tell if there's someone making noise outside or if my computer vent is just deciding to be noisy. Sometimes my fan likes to make a lot of noise, and I can't tell what's happening. Oh, here we go. Who is this? This is Muzzlead. Okay, so this is our mate. Let's see. Do you like running? I don't. I kind of. If I'm in the mood, I will sprint for a short period of time, but I am very out of shape and also asthmatic, so it's also very painful to run for long periods of time, and I tend to go just a little ways and be like, yeah, no, this hurts, I'm gonna stop. Should I run more? Probably. I probably need to push my endurance more than I have. But yeah. Alright, let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Muzzlad is the other alpha, so our mate. And let's head down to the den here, and I think we shall sleep through the night. Is this Silence? This is, in fact, Silence. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, if I was being chased by a scary person, I would run. That's kind of not, kind of not an optional thing there. Do I know Siri? I do. Well, not personally. I know of her. I've watched some of her videos. I haven't kept up with her videos recently, but I do know of her. Don't know her personally. Am I gonna do more Minecraft series? Actually, keep your eyes out. A lot of my projects take longer than expected, but keep your eyes out. Let's see, where are you? Do you live in a desert or forest? I live in a desert. I am in Southern California in the desert part, and it is hot as heck. And not right now. Well, okay. Depending on where you live, it's probably pretty cool for the winter. It's pretty cold here, cold being 55 degrees. That is our cold. So yeah, if that gives you any sort of relative understanding of the temperature, 55 is cold for us. Okay, let's see. Here we go. We'll go ahead and get a drink here. Alrighty, and we should probably go get some food, too. We're starting to run a little bit low. Alright, here we go. Did you know you get a strength boost when your packmates hunt with you? No, I did not. I also have a very hard time getting them to hunt with me, so that could very well be why. But yeah, I did not know that, so that is very good to know. Thank you. Yeah, 50 to 60 degrees is about as cold as it gets where I live. Well, sometimes it can get down to the 30s at night, and on the rare occasion that it does snow, it maybe will stick around for a day or two. If you want a comparison of how uncommon it is for it to snow, one time my brother and I got on the local news because we were playing in the snow at a park. That's how crazy this town goes when it snows. Yeah, it's really hot and dry where I live. Alright, let's see. I do not have kids. I'm not married yet. I don't have kids. I don't have a significant other. I'm still pretty young, you guys. How's Ryan's Quest going? It's going well. As some of you guys may have seen, we will probably be opening we'll be opening our artist applications pretty soon here, I hope. We're just getting some technical things sorted out in the background here. Let's see. I would love to live in a forest. We kind of have a forest, but it's a really hot and dry forest. And it's in the mountains, not where I live. I live out in the valley. It's 9 degrees here in northern Minnesota. Have you ever been anywhere that is cold outside? I have been places where it is cold. I've actually been to Minnesota a few times, but I don't think that was in the winter. Oops, I didn't mean to bark. I don't think it was in the winter time. I was little. I haven't been to Minnesota in years. But I did go to Ukraine one year, which if you guys don't know where that is over by Russia. It's in some of those European countries. Unfortunately, most of us Americans aren't that well versed in European countries. I'm sorry, Europe, but it is true. Since I feel like I have a better understanding of it than probably a lot of people do, because I actually went over there, and hopefully some of you guys actually do know about these things, but my experience has been that a lot of the time when I say, oh, I went to Ukraine, to Americans, they're like, oh, nice, where is that? So I do have to explain it, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's in Eastern Europe, kind of over by Russia, and that was cold. We went in the winter. It snowed pretty much constantly, and then turned to slush in the spring, and so that was pretty cold. That was very cold. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said, our cold is very, very, very relative. For a lot of you guys are gonna be going like, what the heck, that's not cold, and, no, that is legitimately what the place I live considers to be cold. How many dogs or cats do I have? I have 2 cats and 1 dog. I've actually introduced them a few times. I know they were all in one of the Robin vlogs, and then Beanie was in a spot at one point. I did a spotlight video on him recently because he was being a goofball. But yeah, so I introduced them all at various points on here. Do I have an estimate for when Ryan's Quest Episode 1 will be out? Out of curiosity, no pressure. I hesitate to give an estimate because these things are so unbelievably prone to unexpected delays. We thought we were going to release last year. We thought at one point we were going to release last summer, and that just hasn't been the case. And things keep getting set back. Unfortunately, things do keep... There's a lot of unfortunate, funky little technical things that have to go on that sometimes get in the way more than I would like them to. And so, while I would like to release an estimate, I don't feel comfortable doing that until we're a little bit closer, because I'll be explaining more of this at some point here once we get some things sorted out. But we've had to work on some technical things, and that has set us back again. So it'll come out hopefully. I'm still hoping it'll be sometime this year. Hopefully the sooner the better, but I don't feel comfortable giving an exact release at this time. So let's see. I want to be a doctor when I'm older. What do you want to be? I really would love to have my own animation studio, and I'd love to keep doing this. Lost Rivers in Ukraine, that's an interesting theory on it. It is very reminiscent of the idea of the Chernobyl disaster, which was basically where a nuclear power plant had issues and exploded in radiation everywhere. And there's actually wolves that live in the fallout zone of it. And I watched a documentary on them at one point, and they actually are doing quite well despite being in the midst of radiation. And so animals have a much higher capacity to adapt and thrive in areas where we wouldn't be able to live. In fact, when they collared the wolves, they actually had to have full body suits, because if even they were so radioactive that if even a single hair touched them, they could get sick. So, wolves have an amazing ability to adapt and thrive in harsh and hostile environments, like a lot of animals do. And so it's pretty amazing, really. But yeah, there are wolves living in the radiation zone there. As for Lost... Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I need to pause. I'm gonna save my game. Oh man. But yeah. Wow. Just when you think everything's going well. Just when you think that it's all fine, it's very clearly not fine. Okay. But yeah, I don't think Lost River has been confirmed to be in any one location, but it does bear marked similarities to some of what we've seen in research done in Chernobyl, Ukraine. Let's see, Finland, aka Snowpile at the moment. Yeah, Finland is cold from what I've heard. I've never been there, but from everything I've heard, it's cold. Let's see. What's my favorite football team? I'm partial to the Cincinnati Bengals, even though they're nowhere near where I live. And they also do terribly every single year. We still have hope. Yeah. No, it's probably not gonna happen. I'm not that big into football, but if I had to choose a team. I wonder if they could build a Frodo's Forgotten Treasures in real life. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll build one onto the animation studio if that ever happens. It would be cool though. But yeah, that for those of you guys who may not understand that reference, that is actually, there is a shop in Lost River that is called Frodo's Forgotten Treasures, and that is actually my beta tester shop because I do help beta test Wolf Quest, and so that is the that is the shop that I was given as kind of a thank you for helping to test. So that's what that is about. Let's go ahead and we will eat. And all right, let's see. Here we go. But yeah, that was absolutely terrifying. Yeah, you got a perfect example of Screamy Jay there for me, because yeah, that was really scary. So if you didn't see back there, basically that shadow that passed across the ground was that of an airplane, and if you touch the shadow, it's basically instant goodbye. So you want to run as fast as you can in the opposite direction. That's why I always try to never use all of my stamina up, because you never know when you're going to have to sprint for your life in this. Can I play Ultimate Forest Simulator? Probably at some point. I think that actually is one of the ones that I do have. Yeah, okay. Am I gonna play Wolf Quest? Yes, we actually have 4 seasons of Wolf Quest up until this point, and when Wolf Quest Anniversary Edition releases, or if it becomes clear that it's going to be a long ways out yet, we will be jumping back in. So yeah, whenever that happens, whenever we know more about Wolf Quest 3, or if we know it's going to be coming out, we will be returning to Wolf Quest. But for now, there are 5 seasons that, if you guys want to see our Wolf Quest series, you can follow the legacy up until that point. Okay, do I play sports? Nope, I'm not athletic. I used to like playing dodgeball and basketball in my PE class, but that was about it. And it wasn't any sort of serious competition or any of that. It was basically just a way of getting a bunch of homeschool kids to exercise. So it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I'm not athletic. I actually have, believe it or not, I have terrible coordination, and even to the point where I don't feel like I'm a very good gamer. But I seem to do okay. Maybe you guys just like watching me fail. But yeah, I'm not very coordinated. What's your favorite wolf pack, if you have one? We actually have a wolf pack starting in California, if you guys have heard of, I think it's OR5, right? I believe. But a wolf from Oregon found a mate and came down to California and raised pups here. So that we do finally have wolves starting to come back to California. They've been gone for decades at this point, I believe. We haven't had wolves here for a long time, and they're starting to come back. So yeah, I must admit I'm slightly partial to the wolves we have here. Yeah. Let's see. What is my favorite sport? Again, I did enjoy playing dodgeball. I did enjoy low-key playing basketball. But other than that, I don't really watch a lot of sports, and I don't actively play any sports right now. Did I ever go into a cold region? If yes, which? Like I said earlier, I went to Ukraine at one point in the winter time. It was cold, especially for those of us who are from the desert. It was really cold. Let's see, how much did you miss? We're about an hour or so in right now. But yeah, we've mostly just been running around and hunting and chatting and such. Let's see. I do have a shop in Lost River. It's called Frodo's Forgotten Treasures, and it is a reference to the fact that, well, in Wolf Quest I'm known as Frodo. I'm not known as Jay there. I've been on Wolf Quest for a lot longer than I've been known as Jay. And so by the time I started going by Jay, everybody basically knew me as Frodo already there, so I just kind of stuck with that. But so yeah, my beta shop in Lost River is Frodo's Forgotten Treasures, and it is in the town area if you guys have explored that map. Let's see. I don't really know what Dark Soul is. Sorry. I should start training for the new Wolf Quest because you can't hunt multiple elk in a herd. They will run away, so you can't get many. Yeah, the hunting is going to completely change, but the thing is we don't know exactly how it's going to change. We don't have many details on practically how that's going to look, so it's probably going to be a matter of just getting used to it when it actually comes out. What's my favorite fruit? I really like pears. I really like plums. I like bananas, but I think I'm becoming allergic to them because they make my mouth feel weird. I've also really been enjoying Golden Delicious apples right now, but I don't like anything sour. I love you, Jay. You're the best YouTuber. I hope you'll do this for a long time. Aw, thank you. I hope I'll do it for a long time, too. Uh-oh, there's a human up there. We gotta keep our eyes out. But yeah, I hope I'll do this for a very long time, too, because I really enjoy this. It is a blast, really, and I love seeing how, I honestly, getting comments by people who are saying, oh, I was feeling sad, but your videos cheered me up, is just amazing for me, because to be able to have that kind of impact on others' lives and to be able to maybe cheer them up when they're going through a hard time. I mean, I've gone through my share of hard times, and I know that sometimes kind of taking a break from it all and watching others' videos was helpful to me, so to be able to have that kind of an impact for other people has honestly been incredible. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this for as long as I can, and I hope that will be a long time too. Do I like PewDiePie, most popular YouTuber? I don't know much about him. As far as I know, he can be fairly vulgar, and assuming that is correct, then no, I don't really like him because I don't appreciate that kind of thing. Can you play more Slime Rancher? I haven't had a lot of requests for Slime Rancher in a long time, but I will definitely take that into account, and especially if more people start asking about it. Basically, I follow what I see you guys asking for, so if people start asking me to play more Slime Rancher, then definitely. So I will definitely note that and keep that in mind. I try to play what I see you guys asking about, because I think that I want to be able to kind of cater to what you guys are wanting to see. So if that's going to be more Slime Rancher, then yeah, I'll play Slime Rancher. If that's going to be more Wolf, I'll play Wolf. If it's more Cattails, I'll play Cattails. It kind of just depends. Of course, it's going to be within the games that we do play on this channel. I'm not... And of course there are limitations to that as well. If it's a really mature game, then I'm not gonna play that. So let's see. Is WolfQuest online, and where can I get it? It is on Steam, it is on itch.io, and I believe the website is wolfquest.org. I'm pretty sure that's the website. And you can find it on a lot of those different places. It is a paid, well, there's the free version, 2.5 is a free version. The paid version is on Steam and itch.io. So there's if you can't afford the free version, then the paid version, then there is a free version, but I would definitely recommend getting the paid version and supporting them if you can, because they are doing such an amazing job. And I can tell you, they're not in it for the money. The money they get is going back towards producing this game. So I may be a little bit biased because I grew up with this game, but it's definitely, WolfQuest is one of the games that I can wholeheartedly say I support. Let's see. Do I like boba tea? I've had boba at one point. It's been a while. But I think I got it in like a smoothie sort of thing. I do drink some tea that doesn't have boba in it though. And I do enjoy my tea from time to time. You guys have probably heard me, if you've been around for any of my previous streams, or especially Raiden's Quest streams, you probably have heard me talk about the, my Miracle Throat tea. If you may have also heard me talk about my amazing caffeine tea, which is what I use when I'm sleep deprived, because I don't have good sleeping habits. You guys don't take me as an example of sleeping habits. It will be bad for you. Let's see. Are you gonna do more Tale of Two Siblings? I don't know if we'll specifically continue Tale of Two Siblings, but I know Song and I have tossed a few ideas around, and we definitely would like to do some more games together, and perhaps even some more WolfQuest. So we'll definitely we're definitely tossing some ideas around. We know you guys really have liked that series, and yeah, we'd love to do something like that again at some point. Let's see, what's my favorite candy? It really depends on the mood. Right now, though, I've been really loving those. So I don't know if you guys have these everywhere, and I don't know if all you guys know about them, but during the holiday season, M&M makes these peppermint M&Ms, and they have like white chocolate peppermint on the inside, and I have a serious addiction to them. And so this season we bought like 6 bags of them, and I just hoard them in my cabinet until further notice. So that is my current one of my current things that I like. But does that music sound weird, or is that just me? It might just be me. But Yeah, I also really just like M&M's and ice cream. And I have a major sweet tooth, okay? I like a lot of things as long as they're not super sour or spicy or anything. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're asking about an anime that I watched recently. It was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't necessarily, it was a little bit more, violent than I usually watch, but it had a good story. What's my favorite game that I have played so far? I'm always probably going to be really partial to Wolf Quest because, again, like I said, that was my childhood game, but I've really enjoyed playing Cattails. Honestly, I like most of our games for different reasons, and it's really hard to choose a favorite. Let's see. Alright, do I know Miranda Sings or I.S. Cupquake? I've heard of both of them. I don't really know much about them. We're gonna do more Untold Tales. Again, that's kind of one that I'm watching to see if people are going to, if people are gonna want to see it again, or, if that's kind of one that may just fade into the past a little bit more. It really just depends on what you guys are wanting to see. We may go back to it, we may not. It really just depends on the feedback I'm getting about it. That's probably going to be the answer for most of our series that aren't currently running, by the way. Oops, I don't mean to keep barking. I pretty much just, kind of play it by ear to see what people are looking for. Alright, let's see. Will I continue playing Incorporated? Again, same story. It depends on what you guys want to see. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see this tons of candy. What city do I live in? I don't really give out my city online, but I live near Los Angeles. That's the biggest city that's near me. See, I'm always glad when people say that my videos have cheered them up or anything like that. That means a lot to me because, like I said, I've been through some rough times and I've had people who have encouraged me, YouTubers who have encouraged me, even just through their videos that probably don't even know I exist. I've been really encouraged by other YouTubers too, and so to be able to do that for others is honestly just such an amazing gift that I never expected I would have, and I'm so very thankful for it. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's actually really fun to play story-based games. Somebody said, here, let me actually read that comment. I'm thinking if I started my own Wolf Quest-related stories, IDK, I just think it might be more fun than working out the story details, you know, just like leave the fate of the story up to the game itself. That's how I play a lot of my, a lot of my games in this, like, even this most recent series of Wolf Quest. We had a wolf whose story took a sudden and drastic turn, and I'm not going to say exactly what that is in case you haven't watched the series, but if you guys haven't seen it, it is Wolf Quest Moonlight Northern Lights, and I would really recommend you watch it because holy cow, it was crazy. It was amazing, and it was crazy, and it was so absolutely incredible and beyond anything that I could have planned if I tried. So I definitely like leaving a lot of the story up to the game itself. Oftentimes it will change things, or even in Shelter 2, again, that game threw a twist at us that we would not have expected. And it really is, it can be so amazing when you leave the story up to the game. There are so many possibilities. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it definitely, that anime did have a good stories, and if you guys are wondering why I'm not mentioning the name, it's because I would not necessarily consider it to be PG, and so I don't really mention those things on the channel, just because I don't want to be responsible for somebody getting into it and being like, wow, this is really violent. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the story, but I do wish that it didn't have so much gratuitous violence in it. Let's see. What's my favorite song? I don't really have a favorite song. It's kind of just... See, I'm the sort of person who will listen to the same song over and over and over until I'm sick of it, and then move on to a new song. And that's basically how I roll. And so I don't necessarily have a favorite song. Let's see. Yeah, I might bring back Slime Rancher. If more people want to see it, then definitely I might bring it back. Well, it's always really cool, too, to hear that people are actually, they like my stuff enough to watch it multiple times. That's absolutely what I want to hear from you guys, is that if you guys enjoy something and you're enough to see it multiple times, that is one of the biggest compliments that a YouTuber can get, because it means that there's more worth to that than just, oh, the first time I threw it was cool. It means that you guys like it enough to be watching it again, and that's, honestly, thank you guys so much for that. I'm glad you are enjoying it so much. Oops, let's get a little bit further so we can actually drink. Let's see. Alright, what YouTubers have inspired you the most? That's an excellent question. So, the first, the weird thing about me is I actually really didn't watch YouTube at all for a long time. I feel like this music is getting progressively stranger pitched. I don't know. It's an old game, it might have glitches, but anyway, so I actually, believe it or not, did not watch YouTube until just a few years ago. And the first YouTuber that I ever really watched, well, because, okay, up until that, as far as I knew, a lot of YouTube was very, it was inappropriate or had a lot of swearing, and I didn't have a good understanding of the fact that there were people on YouTube who didn't put that in their videos. I thought it was mostly like that because that was just the culture. I ran into one of Ethos Lab's videos on the Minecraft forums, and I watched it, and I thought, hey, that's actually pretty cool. I think I'd heard of him in passing before, and so I looked him up, and I found out that he actually does keep his channel clean. And I was like, wow, people actually really do that on YouTube? Oh, there's a human. Oh, there's a human. Get out, get out, get out. But, oh, there's two humans. That's no good. I'm gonna get a drink before we get out of here because we're gonna need that. But yeah, so I didn't know I didn't know people even wanted that on YouTube. I thought most people wanted the stuff that did have content issues. Oh, that is actually done. And so I was just so completely surprised by that. And eventually, I think it was probably about 6 months after, or no, it was more than 6 months actually, it was probably about a year after that I found Siri's channel and realized that not only is there room on YouTube for people who like to keep it clean, but for people who play animal and nature games, because that's the kind of game that I've always played. I'm not into, I mean, I played Minecraft, but I'm not really into a lot of the common gamer games that you tend to think of. I always thought, oh, you're going to be a gamer, you're going to be playing first-person shooters or whatever. Well, there's so much more to gaming than that, and I didn't even realize it up until that point. And so I would say Etho and Siri were both absolutely fundamental in my eventually wanting to become a YouTuber. It was probably about 6 months after I found Siri's channel that I ended up starting my own, and I played Minecraft at first. And eventually I started playing other games as well. Actually, the one that really got my channel going was Niche, because I started playing right about the time the game was first coming out. And so they actually gave me quite a boost by they would retweet my videos, they would basically put my channel out there, and it's been so cool to get to the point finally where, oh, there's a human there. Okay, we gotta get out of here. But it's been so cool to finally get to the point where I've had people be like, oh, I bought Niche because I saw it on your channel, and so to be able to be to the point where I'm giving back to them, I'm sending people back to them, and I'm kind of returning the favor at this point has been absolutely incredible, because they really helped get my channel off the ground. I'm not gonna lie. That was the first game that I really played that people started coming to me to see, because not a lot of people were playing it. Okay. Yeah, some people on YouTube are really mean. I've actually had people comment on how this community is really amazing, and it is. But a lot of the reason that there's not a lot of mean people here is because I'm very, very careful about weeding through my comments, and so I don't let I actually weed out comments that have swear words. I'm very careful about what I do and don't let up, because my whole concept is that once one comment gets through, people see it and they're like, oh, this is tolerated, I can add to it, and you start to get a toxic environment. And so yes, we do have an absolutely amazing community, and you guys are all absolutely amazing. Most of you guys are super nice people, but I'm also working hard to make sure that the few people who do filter in who aren't so nice don't get to stick around. So if you're nice to people, you respect people, then you're gonna have a great time. If you're rude to people, you're gonna get muted and you're not gonna be able to participate in the community. I'm sorry, but that's your own fault. So that's basically my philosophy on all of it. Is just that, you know, it's kind of a combination of you guys being really amazing and being who you are and bringing the environment that you do, and then me making sure that people aren't trying to bring other kinds of environments that would not be so desirable. Let's see. It'd be cool if you could make your characters in Sims 4 cats and dogs. I would love to do that. The main trouble is we have, at this point in time, we have 7,500 people on this channel, and if I start doing it for one person, then I'm gonna have to do it for everyone. So I would love to do that, but there would have to be some sort of way of restricting that, so it's not just everybody and their brother and I constantly am drowning in Sims 4 and not ever having time to get any of it done. Let's see. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of behind on the comments right now, so I do apologize if I'm not keeping up. And if I don't get to your question, it's okay to repost it a couple of times, but just give me some time to actually get through it before you get there and don't spam it. Okay, do I watch Siri Pixel Biologist? I used to. I haven't really kept up with her channel, and I haven't. Lately, her videos have delved so much into, like, she's kind of stepped away from realism in many ways. And, well, I respect that choice. That's her choice, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. It's not necessarily as much my cup of tea with all the lore and everything. So I haven't watched a lot of her videos recently. Will I still be doing Ark, and will I still be playing the Isle? Yes, but again, the frequency is going to depend on how much you guys want to see. So those series might go on a little bit of a hiatus until more people are wanting to see them. And such not. So if people are asking for those games, I'm gonna keep playing them. If they're not asking as much, then the series might go on hiatus just for a little bit. So, pardon me a little bit here too. When I talk this much, my throat gets really dry, so I have to keep water on hand, because otherwise I will just go and it'll all close up and you won't be able to hear me, and I might lose my voice. So I have to take breaks to drink water every now and then, so pardon me if I go quiet for a bit, or if you can hear me chugging from my water bottle. Okay, we gotta keep an eye on that human, but we're gonna sleep here. And we'll just make sure we keep using our nose. Okay. Where's Niche? Niche is actually back. It's going up on Tuesday and Thursday, I believe. When do you think Wolf Quest 3 will come out? I don't have an answer for that. I am on the beta team, but generally with the beta team, if I have information, I'm not allowed to release information. So you'll have to wait for official announcements on that. Basically, it's one of those things where if you ask me stuff, my answer is going to be no spoiler, because I'm only allowed to release what the Wolf Quest team tells me I'm okay to release. Let's see. Do I watch LD Shadow Lady? I know of her thanks to Minecraft Story Mode, but I don't really watch her channel. I don't know much about her. Let's see. What's my favorite TV shows? Okay, I tend to watch a lot of animated shows. I've been into Voltron lately. I'm not caught up yet, but I watched Miraculous. I watch some series on YouTube. I watch a lot of different things. And I can think of some that I'm not thinking of. I know there's some that I'm missing that I'm not remembering. I watched Ultimate Spider-Man. There's a lot of different ones, really. I actually am more fond of animated things than live action in most cases. So, yeah, it's kind of, I definitely tend more towards the, animation as a general rule, not always, tends to be a lot cleaner, and I'm just not really fond of adult content. So, let's see. Can I play The Escapist? So, I have appreciation for The Escapist. I've watched Dan TDM play it, and, it seems like a cool game. I'm just not sure how much it fits the theme of the channel. And for one thing, I do try and stick to a common theme. For another, the few times that I have kind of branched out a little bit more and just kind of tested the waters to see if people would be interested in something that's kind of not my typical, I haven't had very good results, unfortunately, so I'm kind of sticking towards the common theme. I'll consider it, but again, I don't know if we'll end up playing it or not. I'd also have to pre-screen it for content and such not. So, yeah, it kind of just depends on a lot of factors. Have I ever wanted to play an instrument? When I was young, I wanted to play the euphonium, and now I'm not sure. Euphonium is basically like a smaller version of a tuba, in case anyone hasn't heard of it. That was when I was younger, and looking back on that, I really wonder how tiny, small, asthmatic me thought I was going to play a tuba thing, but yeah, I don't know. It never actually happened, but I do play a little bit of ukulele, and I do play a little bit of piano. Not well, but I can manage. I actually write music better than I play music because I'm nearly sheet music illiterate, and I play by ear most of the time. Let's see. Let's see here. Aw, thank you for the tea. Do you think you could play a game called The Wolf? If that's... I don't actually know what game that is. It sounds familiar, and I think it may be one that I looked at that I didn't think looked super good gameplay-wise, maybe. I'll have to look it up again and see. Sometimes there are games that I don't always get because they don't, like, if it has really bad reviews and it sounds like the gameplay isn't all that good, a lot of the time I won't get the game because it might be fun just to try if it's cheap, but I don't really know all the time. I keep in mind as well, all these games that I get come out of my personal money for the most part, and so I have to budget myself and make sure that I'm not I have to make sure I don't go out of budget. And so if a game doesn't seem like it's going to be super good and I don't expect I can return on my investment, a lot of the time I won't play the game. Yeah, some of you guys have been here for a long time. I'm recognizing several old faces who've been here since the early days of the channel. We've been around for, what, a year and a half now, I want to say, and some of you guys have been here for pretty much the whole time. So welcome to old members, and welcome to new ones as well. It's important to have both. Where is that beaver? But yeah, it's very important to have a good mix of the two. There's the beaver for communities like this. Okay, let's see if we can catch up to him. There we go. Do I watch Star vs. the Forces of Evil? I do not, actually. Do I know of JayPlays? I know of her. I don't know her personally, and I haven't watched a lot of her videos. Let's see. What's my favorite pet that I've ever had? That's kind of a tough question because they're all special to me. I love them all for different reasons, and yeah, it's kind of a difficult question to answer. Oh my goodness, you found your cat on Google Maps? That's pretty cool. Do I watch Escape the Night? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't. I definitely don't watch adult cartoons. A lot of people ask if I swear in real life because I don't swear on the channel, and the answer is no, I actually don't. I know that surprises a lot of people, but I just don't get it. Oh yeah, another big cartoon. This is the one I knew I was forgetting the major one. Another huge one for me would be Ninjago. That was one of the... That's actually... If you guys are wondering where my name comes from, that's probably the biggest fandom I've been in for quite some time, and it's still pretty good. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of adult content, period. I just don't really like it. Let's see. Do you know the game The Long Dark? I know of it. I think I looked it up at one point for the channel and decided that it might be a little bit too on the mature side, possibly. But it does look like an interesting game. Have I heard of Musically? I don't actually know what Musically is. I mean, I know what the word means, but I don't know of that. Have I ever seen a wolf? I've seen several in zoos and wolf sanctuaries, but I actually did get to see a wild wolf one time when we went to Yellowstone years back, and that was pretty amazing. So, yes, I have seen a wolf, and I actually have seen a wolf in the wild, and it was very, very cool to finally, especially because, you know, like I said, I practically grew up playing Wolf Quest, and that takes place in Yellowstone, and to finally be able to go to Yellowstone and to actually see a wolf while I was there was basically a dream come true. Let's see. Do I like Slender the game? Oh goodness. I have a story about this game. So, first off, I can't say I recommend any of you guys play it because it is notoriously scary. It is meant to be scary. That is the purpose of the game. It is meant to scare you. And it's pretty creepy. But I used to be in robotics, and one night, it was in the summertime, we had nothing to be doing it because the robotics team I was on was in a competitive league, and it was the off season. So we were all just kind of hanging out in the garage, and I didn't actually know what Slender was. This is the first time I'd heard of it, and so somehow that devolved into, they were like, oh gosh, you've got to see this, and so they started playing it, and I was kind of frenemies with this one kid. We had a little bit of a rivalry, and he was playing it, and so I was watching him play it, and he kept jumping, and I was determined that I was going to show him up, so I decided to play this game, and I decided that I was not going to freak out because I needed to prove myself. I'm a very competitive person sometimes, okay? And so yeah, basically, I played Slender one time to prove a point to this kid who was kind of my frenemy. Yeah, so that's my story with Slender. Other than that, I don't do jump scares, I don't do horror games. I one time played FNAF 3, the demo version, late alone at night, and it was emotionally traumatic, and I never want to do it again. So I don't play a lot of horror games. I don't handle jump scares well. If any of you guys have seen most of our series, actually, when something pops up, I do not handle it. I panic badly. I do like watching some other people play it, though, because sometimes they're funny. Let's see. Okay, so, oh boy. There was a question, and I think I missed it. Hopefully I'm not missing questions, because I think I'm slower than the chat at this point here. Alright, let's see. Let's sniff around. I think everything's gonna be okay so far here. Alright, let's see. Are wolves my favorite animals? I definitely have a soft spot for wolves and other canines, but I really do love all animals. I'm both a dog person and a cat person, but I'm a little bit more attached to dogs in some ways. I do love my cats, but, like, some cats you can walk with, but there just seems to be more you can do with dogs in some ways. Like, you can go out and have more activities together with a dog, whereas a lot of cats don't like a leash, and it's kind of just a different experience. But I do love my cats as well. And I've had a variety of animals, but I do tend to be a little bit partial to canines. I do love all animals, though. Let's see. Oh, hey, I remember Forensic, too. I remember you. Do I know a game called Roblox? Yeah, we've actually played quite a bit of Roblox. We just finished a Roblox series, and, yeah, Roblox has been one of the big populars on this channel. A lot of you guys have been like, Jay, play Roblox, and, so I have played quite a bit of Roblox. I kind of want to go back to some of the old games on there, too, because there are some that I haven't played for a while that, used to be pretty good back in the day, and, I bet a lot of people would like to see them again. Let's see. Who is my first subscriber? I have no idea. I think it was someone off the Minecraft forums, and they probably have unsubscribed to me now because I haven't done Minecraft in a year now. So, I think my first subscriber is that, or it was somebody I know in real life. Let's see. Do I like sushi? I tried raw eel once, and it was very bland and kind of salty, but, yeah, I'm kind of impartial when it comes to sushi. It's okay. It's not my favorite food. But yeah, let's see. Let's head up and get some water. Do I like, okay, let's see. Do I like dogs or wolves better? Again, that's kind of a difficult comparison to make. One is a pet, a companion. One of them is gonna live with you probably. The other one is going to live in the wild and you're going to be watching it from a distance. Kind of apples to oranges. I don't advocate for having pet wolves. The only time I would advocate for anything close to that would be a wolf ambassador, and if you've ever seen videos of wolf ambassadors, they're not that... They're similar in some ways to domestic dogs, but they're also completely different, and they're a lot harder to handle, so... Am I secretly Ari or Jaden? No, this is... I'm not secretly anybody else on YouTube, really. Oh my goodness. I am quite similar to Song at the very least. Maybe we're clones, who knows? Wait, is there something happening? No, somebody just ran off, okay. Into the Dead, I don't know what that is. It sounds kind of beyond what I would play on this channel, but I can look it up. Let's see. Let me see here. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm secretly a Kugel, a Cougar-Eagle hybrid, and I play video games, and this is what I do. Let's see, I had a purpose in going here, and I don't even remember. This is the gaming equivalent of I walked into a room now, I can't remember why I'm here. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Orca. I'm always glad to hear that I've inspired people to get the games that I play, because most of the games that I play are actually indie games, and that means that they may not get a lot of support, and they especially don't get a lot of support if it's not for YouTubers. There's a real important relationship between YouTubers and indie game developers, because you might have... So, like, one of the few non-indie games that I play is Ark. That one is by a big studio, and they have money to purchase their own advertising. But a lot of indie gamers have just enough money to maybe make the game, and a lot of them invest their own money into it with potentially no promise of getting an investment back and getting any return on their investment. And so indie gamers really depend, or indie game developers really depend on YouTubers to produce content for their games, because that's the only way they're going to get advertising. So to hear that people are supporting these games that I play is great, because that means that I'm helping them out. They've helped me out so much. The Cattails team is another, they're another big group they're another big supporter of my channel. They're getting my videos out there, and so for me to get their game out there as well is absolutely fantastic. So I'm very glad to hear when people actually purchase games because of me, because 90% of the time it's an indie game that might not get much support if it weren't for YouTubers, and that makes me happy. Let's see. Do I like Pushing? Pushing is cute. I've seen some of the comics. I don't follow them avidly. Let's see. If you ever got a dragon as a pet, what would you name it? Probably Shadowstorm. I had, oh gosh, this is, don't judge you guys, this is back from this is back from 2010, I think. I was, back when How to Train Your Dragon first came out, the movie, I was really into it. I got into the movie, and then I got into the books, and I've kind of just been obsessed. I'm still obsessed with How to Train Your Dragon, but at one point I was trying to write a fan fiction, and the main character's name was Shadowstorm, and so, yeah, it's kind of a special name for me. But yeah. Let's see. I am not Miley Cyrus. Never gonna be Miley Cyrus, and I think we'd have some serious problems if I was Miley Cyrus, because I don't like Miley Cyrus. And I'm also not Obama. I think I'm a lot younger, the wrong gender, and yeah, I'm not Obama. Oh no, please don't let this be a meme. Am I secretly a wolf? I draw my, I guess, sort of representative of me character as a wolf sometimes, but that's mostly due to the fact that I don't feel confident drawing people. But that's the closest I am to being a wolf. I'm not. Aw, I'm glad you like my voice. It's always really weird for me to hear my own voice when I'm back editing these videos. It sounds very different in the microphone than it does for me to hear it in real life. Do these guys actually turn tail? They do turn tail and run. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were going to pull into a circle or what, but that would be kind of cool if they did, because a lot of the time bison will, they will stand their ground in a lot of the time. Okay, let's see. I'm honored that you think I should run for president. To be honest, I might be a better option than a lot of the ones out there, but I don't know if I'd want that kind of responsibility. I have enough qualms about being a YouTuber like this and being an influence that I don't think I can handle the responsibility of being president. Let's see. What do I use to film and what do I use to edit? I use OBS to record my videos, and I actually just edit in Windows Movie Maker. I'm a cheapo, I know, but it's what I use to edit because it's what I have and what I'm used to, and it does the job. I also use Photoshop for my end screens, and sometimes in the rare event that I play a game that has some language or whatever pop up on screen, I will edit the video in Photoshop to blur it out. Let's see. Have I read Wings of Fire? I have not, but I've been told it's good. So that might be one that at some point I will have to read. I actually do like School of Dragons. I used to play it, but I have not had time in forever to play that game. Have I read Warrior Cats? I think I mentioned it earlier, but I've read the first book, and then I started high school and never got to finish the series because there was so much to read, and I didn't have time. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Tom. You know, like I said, oh, that's bad, there's people. But like I said, I've had, watching some YouTubers has helped me through some hard times in my own life, and so to be able to put videos out there, and to then hear that they're helping other people kind of deal with things and get through hard times in their own life is beyond anything that I could ask for. I'm so incredibly honored to be able to do this, to be here in this day and age when we have this sort of technology, when we're able to make videos like this, when this is a possibility, and to be able to reach out and touch lives like this is so absolutely incredible, and it's very humbling, really. And so I'm always so glad to hear that I've been able to make a difference in other people's lives, because I've had YouTubers who have made a difference in my life, and you know what? They probably don't even know who I am, and that's okay, but they still touched my life, and I'm gonna be thankful to them for in a way being there. It's kind of being a YouTuber is kind of weird in a way, because in some ways it's really personal, and in some ways it's very impersonal. And it's kind of this weird combination of the two. It's almost a paradox in some ways, but it's still possible to reach people's lives on a very personal level, and that's honestly such an incredible thing. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Have I ever been to England? No, but I would love to go to England. My mom got to go to England, but I haven't been to England. That was before I was around. And yeah, I would love to someday. Hey, maybe, you never know. Maybe I'll go there. Maybe I'll go there for the channel sometime and study British wildlife or something. Let's see. What do I use to animate? I animate in Photoshop, but Photoshop is not. I fully recognize Photoshop is not an option for a lot of people, and it probably wouldn't be for me if I weren't a student. But there are quite a few free alternatives. Fire Alpaca is somewhat good. It's very good for drawing. It's okay for animating. And then another one of my favorites for animating is GIMP. I used to animate in that before I got Photoshop. So yeah, I do use Photoshop for my animations presently. A lot of people use Flash. I am actually not that big of a fan of Flash. It's a little bit laggy for me, and I find Photoshop is more intuitive for me for some reason. But yeah, at some point, oh, we're catching up. We're gonna get him. Oh no, oh, we're not gonna get him that easily, actually. There we go. Oh, we should be able to catch up to him. Closer, closer, closer. Yes. There we go. Oh, he's limping. Okay, can we get him? Can we get him? I think we can get him. All right, let's see. Is it noon or day or night? Oh, we didn't get him. Oh no, we gotta get closer. Oh, he's limping again. Okay, let's try and get him this time. Oh, this is gonna be close. All right, I think we might be able to get him though. No, we didn't. Oh darn, we're gonna be injured, aren't we? No, we're not injured, but I'm gonna back off that chase because I think that's not gonna work. Okay, we need to get some food here. But it is the middle of the day. It is about almost 4 in the afternoon, so we'll probably wrap up the stream somewhat soon here. I'm gonna go back and see if any of these caribou are easier to hunt because we're getting pretty hungry and I think we've consumed most of the carcasses that are around. Let's see. Can I play a free app called The Little Fox? I can look it up and see. I actually might have that on my emulator, possibly. Oh, there is a carcass up here. Okay, we're gonna see if we can go get that. But yeah, I will see about that. I actually might have that on my emulator. I have a bunch of games on the emulator that I've been considering playing at some point and have not actually played yet. But yeah. I will definitely look into that. Is there... Okay, there's a caribou right up here. Please tell me it's a weak one. Is it weak? Oh, nope, it's not. Okay. Let's see. Alright, let's see. OBS doesn't let me record, it only lets me stream. You might have to configure your recording settings. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at troubleshooting OBS without being able to see it. I wish I could help more, but I can't. I'm sorry. But best of luck with getting it going. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys think I should have more subscribers. Hopefully they'll come in time. They've been coming in pretty decently steadily for a while now, so I'm pretty sure we'll end up with a growing community as time goes on. Oh, good. Okay, we can eat here. Eat, please eat, please eat, please let me eat. There we go. Can I do Facecam? Sort of. I have done Facecam in a few videos, but I had trouble getting it working, and I haven't fully gotten it working yet. And with the current state of my recording area, I'm not quite ready to do it just yet. Oh, there's a human up there. But yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, Krita has a timeline for animation? I was not aware of this. I used to use Krita, but I haven't used it in a long time. That's really good then. Have I ever been to Alaska? No, but I've always wanted to. I used to want to go up to Alaska, and I had a fascination with sled dogs and the Iditarod for a while there. I used to want to go up to Alaska and race in the Iditarod. I don't know that they have very good Wi-Fi in Alaska in some places, though, so that might not be so feasible. And they also have earthquakes, which we have those here, and they scare me quite a lot. So I don't know if I would actually want to move to Alaska now, but I would definitely love to visit it someday. It's such a cool place up there. Well, no pun intended, but it definitely is a very amazing place and an amazing ecosystem, and I would love to get to visit it at some point here. Let's see, there is water up here. I want to be kind of cautious because I think there was a human somewhere around here, but I want to be careful. I don't want to... Okay, that's just another wolf. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I do know there are deer up in England. We have some sorts of deer here as well, but they're not, I don't think we have smaller varieties near where I live. Okay. Did you enjoy trying to restore the balance of the Forest Guardian? I'm decently stuck on the purple gem riddle. Okay, so that's Cattails, and, yeah, I did enjoy it. Some of them were a little bit difficult. It's been a lot more difficult with a cat that's not maxed out on levels like Dusty was. We've now been going through this with Larkin, and things have been a little bit trickier, but for the most part, it has been very, very fun. Okay, let's see. Do I have it into us? I have a Cintiq, actually. Oh, there's a human. We're running. But yeah, I have started to pursue animation more professionally, so I did end up investing in a bigger tablet, but if you're just getting started, I would recommend working with a smaller tablet first, and even just getting used to it. It is quite an adjustment to work with a screen tablet, and in many cases, depending on what you're trying to do, and especially if you're just starting out, it is perfectly fine to work with a non-screen tablet. I actually used to work on a Bamboo, but lately I have finally upgraded. So let's see. Do I know Jessie Mew? Jessie Mew is one of the other YouTubers who I've watched occasionally, but I haven't kept up with her videos either, unfortunately. Oh, I would love a hug from a British fox. I have not played Undertale. What is my favorite series that I've made? That's a good question. I really have enjoyed playing Niche. I actually really enjoy making ARC videos, but unfortunately those haven't done as well. I've enjoyed a lot of our multiplayer series, so I like Tale of Two Siblings, I liked Don't Starve Together. We played a lot of fun games on this channel. I really do enjoy our Wolf Quest series, although sometimes it can be a little stressful, and Shelter 2 is very fun as well. I really do like most of our games. I think the only game that's really started to frustrate me after a while was Saurion. Not because it wasn't a good game, but because it got so redundant and we were playing it constantly and there wasn't a whole lot to do, so we were doing the same thing over and over and over again because it was in such early development that I did start to get a little bit frustrated with that one, and I got a little bit of burnout with it. But I still do really like Saurion. It just got to the point where we'd done everything there was to do, really, and we then were like, okay, let's do it again. And it was kind of like, we've done this 3 times already. Let's see. What's my favorite Disney movie? Good question. I really like Big Hero 6, and Moana was really good, but Coco is freaking amazing. I got to go see that pretty recently, and it is one of the best animated movies I have seen. Probably the best one I saw in 2017, and the best one I've seen in quite a while, so that one was really, really good. But yeah, let's see here. Hey, welcome! Do I have any pets? Yes, I have 2 cats and a dog. What's my favorite type of dog? I actually really like Karelian bear dogs. They're a pretty uncommon breed, but they're also really, really cool. My dog is a German Shepherd mix, though. We don't entirely know what with, but we think possibly Belgian Malinois. Let's see. And, do I know what Wizard 101 is? I have heard of it, but I've never actually played it. I'm glad to hear you're playing Wolf Quest 2. That's definitely, like I've said before, it's been a very special game for me. It's one I've played for a long time, and I'm glad to be able to support it, especially to have other people who have watched my videos support it too is really, really amazing for me. After having played a game for so long, to be able to kind of give back in a way is such an incredible thing. Happy early birthday. And I saw other birthdays earlier on that I kind of missed, so happy birthday to you guys too. If it's your birthday today, if it was your birthday, if it's a birthday coming up, happy birthday. Let's see. Oh my goodness, yeah, we have a full-on roleplay going on in the chat right now. I'm very lost. I'm not that used to tabletop sort of RPG. I've done more of a free format RPG or roleplay with people. I do roleplay quite a bit, but it's not quite the classic Dungeons and Dragons sort of roleplay. Let's see. I'll probably wrap up around 4 here because it is getting kind of late and my voice is going. You can probably hear that. Yeah, we'll probably wrap up pretty soon here, but don't worry, if you guys like this, then we will do this again at some point. And I'm thinking one thing that I might implement is, because I know one of the things we've had a lot of, that's been pretty interesting has been the naming, and one of the things I was thinking we could do with the naming is I can't open it up in the way that I used to because it would be absolute and complete chaos. It just would, and that is rather unfortunate. But what I'm thinking I may do is open it up to patrons, and to anybody who sponsors me on the channel here will be allowed to submit names, and those names could be used for puppies, or they could be used for other NPCs. I can rename the NPCs here. So we may consider doing something like that at some point here. And I try not to restrict too much stuff to be paid or patron only or any of that, but in some cases like this, it does still make it so that the community can participate, but it also keeps it from getting way too out of hand. Of course, any name submitted will be subject to my approval because I'm not going to use anything inappropriate or anything like that. I do like Samoyeds. They are working dogs, they're sled dogs, and like I said, I was into dog sledding for a while. I actually used to take my dog urban mushing, which is like the desert equivalent with a scooter instead of a sled. So that was pretty fun. But she can't do that anymore. We found out as she got older, she started to develop hip problems, so now that's not something she can do. She can't put too much weight on it, and so she can't handle pulling. But she used to like it when she was younger and before those problems started to develop. And thank you. Border Collies are really cool as well. My uncle has Border Collies, and they're pretty cool dogs. They're very, very intelligent. And they actually, you know, most people think of them as black and white, but they can be a lot of different colors. They can be red and white. They can be tricolor. There's a lot of cool patterns that most people don't know about. They can be merled. There's lots of different looks to them that a lot of people just don't know exist, because typically everybody thinks of the black and white ones. Let's come over here, and that's a dead carcass. Well, I mean, obviously they're all dead. I'd be a little concerned if they weren't, but it doesn't have any meat left on it. Yeah, definitely. I would love to continue this. This seems like it's actually a pretty good game for streaming. Because on the one hand, it still has things that happen. It's still fun to continue to play. And at the same time, it doesn't take so much of my concentration 100% of the time that I can't even talk to you guys. So it seems like it's a pretty nice, blend of action and still my being able to talk. That is Silence. We see Silence a lot more than Muzzlad. Is Muzzlad still okay? Yeah, he's fine. Let's come over here. And, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream, and I've really enjoyed it too. I have missed this, but it did get really chaotic with the Wolf Quest streams and with trying to keep up with all of those puppy names. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was way too much even then. And, so let's see. Let me see. What is my favorite cat breed? I'm not that well versed in cat breeds, but, I definitely do. I think I like Egyptian Mouse. I've always found interesting. I was pretty interested in them when I was young. And so they've been one of the more interesting breeds for me. And, it is interesting that there are now sort of cat hybrids as well, where they've crossbred with different types of wild cats. I didn't know, you know, pretty much everyone knows the origin of the dog being from the wolf, but it's a lot less people are actually aware what species cats descended from, and so it's kind of interesting. At the same time, though, again, it's one of those things where I would really not recommend it unless you know what you're doing, because they can be a little bit more out of control. But it's always kind of an interesting thing. Let's see. How old is Rumour now? She is probably still... Yep, 3 years and 8 months. We haven't even passed a whole month. This is why we started time skipping in the main wolf series. It just would be way too much if we tried to play it straight through. But yeah, so with a stream, that's a lot more doable, and I would say we could probably get to the next month sometime in the next stream we do at some point. So I don't know how often I'll be streaming. It may not be weekly. It's going to depend on what I have going on specific days as well. I'm going to go ahead and save just so that we have a save point. And the way I'm going to run saves and deaths for this is that we'll save from time to time, and dying, we won't have a hard and fast death system because the deaths in this can be very sudden and difficult to avoid. But if we do die, we'll reload from a previous save, and of course that will come with lost progress. Am I ever going to do a niche or cattail stream? So, niche, potentially. I've shied away from that, though, because that's kind of already been done, whereas I've never seen anybody stream wolf ever. And, am I going to do cattails? I would have to set up a dedicated profile specifically for streaming, because I wouldn't feel right doing it on one of the main ones where people might feel then like they couldn't potentially... Like, people might feel left out if I did it on one of the main ones and they missed a stream or whatever. So I try not to do that with a series that's never been streaming. I try not to make it a series that is streaming. I'd have to set up a dedicated one. So that's just kind of my way of running the streams. But at some point it might. You never know. Let's see. Do I know what a Newfoundland dog is? Yes, I do. They're the big, heavy-set kind of, they're pretty thick-coated and they're black usually, but they can come in other colors, right? Let's go ahead and we'll sleep through the night. And, Cattails, especially in its earlier ones, you could run out of things to do, but they are pretty decent of having, they're pretty good with having a fair amount to do right now. It's been a little harder with Dusty because we played so much in the earlier versions where there wasn't so much to do aside from level that we leveled him up really fast, and so it may not quite have stayed as interesting as, like, Larkin or whatever, who's leveling up as she's going, and same for Oberon. But I still find quite a lot of enjoyment in it. What inspired me to love animals? I mean, there have been animals in my home since I can remember. We have video of me coming home from the hospital and being greeted by my family's cats at that time, and when I was first born, and so literally I have had animals around since as long as I can remember, and I just have always, I don't really know, as long as I can remember, I've loved animals. And of course I've gotten more interested with them. I was the kid who grew up watching Animal Planet when I was young. It's just, animals have always been such a huge part of my life, and I guess that they just always were there. So I kind of, I don't know. I don't know if there was really a specific time or place that I could point to as, this is where my love for animals started. I do know I first got really interested in wolves thanks to Wolf Quest, but that's specifically for wolves. Whereas other animals, I don't know. It kind of just really depended. I used to play a lot of Zoo Tycoon. I remember playing a lot of Zoo Tycoon 2. I think I still have those games. Maybe we'll have to try and play those at some point. But yeah, I remember, it's kind of just been for as long as I can remember. Let's see. Will I do the cats and dogs thing? I'm assuming you're meaning, or for The Sims, I mean, I'm assuming you mean aside from just the weekly ones we're doing where we make some of our characters. Again, keep your eyes out. You never know what might show up in the future. Let's see. What is my favorite milkshake flavor? I'm a traditionalist. I like vanilla, but I also really like, it's not quite a milkshake, but it's basically milk with vanilla in it, and sometimes they put peppermint in it, and it's either iced or it's warm. It's kind of the vanilla counterpart to hot chocolate, but it can also be cold, and it is amazing. I love it. That's what I'm not a coffee person, so whenever I go to like Starbucks or wherever with people, they always go there for the coffee, but that's my go-to. It's not caffeinated, or it doesn't have any coffee in it, but it's still amazing. Let's see. How many times would I estimate I've died in this game? See, you guys did not get to see me playing this game when I was a lot younger. I died a lot, and if you watch the first episode I ever did where... Oh, that's a human, okay. Where we played through some of the scenarios, that's pretty much how it was when I first started playing the game. I was not very good, and I died a lot, pretty much constantly. You know, we're just gonna get this beaver because chasing these deer is proving to be more time and effort than I was hoping. Let's see. And, so yeah, how many times have I died in this game? A lot. A lot. Let's see. Let me see. There's a lot of different subspecies of wolves. It really just depends, and some people break them down more than others, so some will say there's more subspecies than others. It really, let's see. I'm gonna head back up, I think, as well. But yeah, so it really just depends. So, like, somebody mentioned, somebody here said gray wolves, red wolves, Ethiopian wolves, timber wolves, Mexican wolves, black wolves. I don't know if black wolves are their own subspecies, but, they can be broken down into different regional variants. So, like, you have the gray wolf, you have, I think the Mexican wolf would be considered pretty distinct from that, Arctic wolves might be, and then it can get broken down even further, so you might have a lot of different, even additional breakdowns based off region, and it can get pretty complicated. Ethiopian wolves, I think, are further apart genetically. I think there's Arabian wolves as well. There's a lot of different species from different areas, and some of them are more genetically set apart than others. Do I like lions or tigers better? I don't know. I don't really know that I have a preference. They're both interesting for different reasons. Again, it's kind of hard to compare species in some ways, because they're so different. It's kind of apples to oranges a lot of the time. Ligers are a crossbreed between lions and tigers, and yeah, they're pretty interesting. I don't know a lot about them, but they do seem interesting. I don't know how much do they occur in the wild versus being bred in captivity. That's one question that I'm not really sure on. But yeah, let's come up here, and I think I'm gonna get a drink of water, and then we'll probably start to wrap up here. We'll probably wrap up over this night, and then I'll probably go ahead and take a few last questions and answers, but I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the story here, and let's settle down and we'll sleep through the night, and then I'll go back to the menu and just close out the stream. So let's see, here we go. What's my favorite wolf subspecies? Again, it's kind of a hard thing to choose. I just like wolves in general, really. Let's see. See you later. Alright. Now that it is going to be morning, we'll go ahead and save and we'll exit back. And, there we go. Let's go ahead. We will save as Rumour. And, the game is using the game is what uses the British spelling of it, just in case anybody's wondering. I'm actually not British, I'm American. There are different spellings depending on where you live, and but this game uses the British one, so I'm using that for for this. And we'll go ahead and go back to the main menu here, and I'll go ahead, and if anybody has any last questions, I'll stick around just for a little bit here, but other than that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. So let me get myself some water. Let's see. Alright, I'll give you a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit of time for this to catch up to where you are in the stream as well. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that as well. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did too. It's been a long time since I streamed, and I wasn't sure what to expect because we had a lot more people than I have ever had before. So, let's see. Okay, we got some questions. Have I ever heard of a maned wolf? Yes, maned wolves are cool. They're actually not wolves. They're more closely related to foxes, and they're very, very cool. I have not visited New Zealand. Again, that is another place I would love to go. I haven't traveled that much. I really haven't been out of the US except for the one time I went to Ukraine. Other than that, I think that's the only time I left the country. Yeah, main difference between, well, one of the main differences between British and American spelling is that the British one tends to have OU as opposed to just O. What do the numbers next to the animal pop-ups mean? In the game itself, that's how far away it is. Let's see, did you guys know a dull wolf will make a tiger stand down? I did not know that, but that's, that is pretty cool. What's my favorite dog breed? Again, I find Curly and Bear dogs to be pretty fascinating. They're really cool. They're still used as working dogs a lot of the time. Let's see. Let me see. I don't think I've seen The Rise of Black Wolf. I've seen a lot of different ones, and I don't always remember the names though. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go and, I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here. So, thank you guys so much for coming. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys had fun, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I may try to give you guys a bit of a heads up beforehand. This was kind of impromptu. I wasn't entirely sure if I'd be doing it. But yeah, we'll definitely see if we can do this again in the future. And I'll try to give you guys a little bit more notice and hopefully start it a little bit earlier. We did get going kind of late this time. So, yeah, that was hopefully, because I know some of you guys, especially those of you who are probably mostly those of you in East Coast, but also those of you guys who are in Europe, it's pretty late for you guys as compared to it's earlier in the day for me. So yeah, I'll try and do it a little bit earlier if I can in the future. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.